Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be looking at what happened on the 10th of September. But first, I have to practice your mind in seeing what you can't see. And once you start understanding what you can't see, you will start seeing it. But before we go there, I have to start using the gymnastics, mental gymnastics for your mind. Okay, and here we go. So we can see a cross and a circle here, and we have a representation of a symbol, all right? And that symbol is known as Christianity, and that is important because many people follow this symbol. Lo and behold, you have another symbol that just happens to be a circle and an X in it, and that just happens to be NATO. That is the same symbol, but reinvented. Now, all these two symbols come from something else, which comes from this symbol. As you can see, there's a circle and there is an ox. And an ox is written with a O and an X. So you can see the O, you can see the X, you can see the O, you can see the X, and you can see the O, and you can see the X. Now, where does all this pictogram magic come from? It comes from way back in Egypt. All right, so let's look at some of the symbols here. You can see the ox is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet all the way back at the beginning here. And it is the meaning, the basic meaning is God. These are the definitions, the attributes, God, creator, and first. Okay, so that has to do with Aleph. And the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet happens to be an X. Okay, that's Tav. And that has to be with cross, covenant, and truth. Whatever, perfection. So that being said, you can see the circle here is associated to Aleph through the number 1, as a circle has one surface as opposed to all the other geometric shapes. They have more than one angle. This one is perfect. In other words, a circle has to be perfect for it to be a circle. It has no beginning, no end. All the attributes of a circle were given to God, and God is basically Aleph, all right? And the word father is Aleph Bet. In Hebrew, the word Aleph Bet is father, and that's a phonetic duality for alphabet. So we're going to come full circle. So we got our ox, we got our X. So circle, X, circle, X, the word, this is associated to the word ox, okay, and you can see the circle on top here. Ox is the 15th letter of the Hebrew, our alphabet, excuse me. So that's 1 plus 5 equals 6, and the X here is the 24th letter of the alphabet, so 2 plus 4 equals 6, and 6 plus 6 equals 12, and that brings us back to Aleph Bet, which is the father. Okay, so that's how witchcraft nonsense works. Okay, so we saw that Charlie Kirk was within the Make America Great Again, and MAGA here is in red as well as in white. As you can see, the magic here, the magician is in red as well as in white, and MAGA is associated to sorcerer. Okay, so indirectly, this whole movement is a magic trick. Okay, so let's look at some of the things that we were not supposed to see, but it is a way for them to convey messages to each other without you knowing. So in front of Charlie here, Charlie Kirk also happens to add up to 11, as Charlie is 7, and Kirk is 4. So you can see the 47, but it gets deeper than that. So you have your red and white, 47, 47, 47, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, and also 4 plus 7, 4 plus 7, 4 plus 7, and 4 plus 7 equals 11. 11, 11, 11 equals 33. And 33 is associated to this symbol, which is not the symbol that you think it is, but is the symbol of magic, as magic equals 33. The alphanumerical total of magic equals 33. And it's also associated to witchcraft. Once you start understanding that you have 6 points, you have a, 6 points, 6 triangle, and a hexagon. Okay, so that brings us to 666, and indirectly through English gematria, we can see it's the word witchcraft. So that was for the understanding of what was going on here. You also had it on the other side of him, and there were 3 rows of hats, and you had 3 rows of hats on either side of him, and that's your 33 indirectly. And again, it was on the hat itself, and 47 also stands for Charlie Kirk, which is 11 letters long. So this is not the first time they do this nonsense, because they've done it in the past. We had September, they love the number 11, okay? 11's their big thing, because 11 is the beginning of magic inside of the Kabbalah. So you'll see the numbers reappear, 1, 2, 3, and 11. 11 is very important. So we saw it in the, well, Charlie Kirk here just happens to be assassinated on September 10, 2025. But you see the 1, the 2, and the 3. The 22 here could probably mean that it has to do with the Hebrew alphabet. The 22 letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the cross, and that's associated to Christianity. But let's not go too deep. But in this picture, you can see the number 1776. This is how they convey messages to each other and letting them know that they were behind it, okay, and not necessarily who you think it is. It's somebody else. It's the ones that say they are, but they're not. Okay, so 1776 is the alphanumerical total of the Hebrew alphabet. Okay, you can look that up. So 1776 was behind him. All right, basically saying we're behind it, and it was also conveyed in November 22nd at the assassination of our friend JFK. November is the 11th month, and the day was the 22nd. 11 plus 22 equals 33. That's your magic, and that's your witchcraft. And 9/11, the September attacks, that has to do with this. You have 9 Sephiroths, and the 11th one, the 10th one, you don't count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. So there you go. So all this nonsense, what happened to him was a human ritual sacrifice. It's unfortunate. We also see the people around him as well as himself dressed in black and white. Okay, black and white, and black is 11 as it adds up to 29, and white equals 65. Numerical alphabet, numerical position of the letters inside the alphabet. That's your gematria. 6 plus 5 equals 11, and 29 equals 2 plus 9 equals 11. And you can see the man in black here, and this guy in white, as well as Charlie in black and white. So I don't know how all this came about, but that's part of the magic. And well, that's basically it. This show, okay, which is all started a long time ago with the pictograms, and it has been creating our reality ever since. And once we understand that we have to disassociate ourselves from the alphabet, the father, which is the alphabet, we are probably going to have a better time than seeing these kinds of psyop operations being done in front of us, because a psyop is an operation aimed at influencing the behavior and decisions of individuals as well as groups, and they are used to convey selected information to audience to affect their motives and reasoning, ultimately impacting behavior of government and organizations. So careful, this is another trauma-based psyop, and it is unfortunately we had to go through this one, but it happened in the past. It happened during the assassination of John F. Kennedy. It happened on September 11, and Charlie Kirk is just another one of those operations. So sorry to let you know, it's a magical world, and it's the same people that have been doing this and this and that and that. They're still doing it today. All right, take care, bye.